Hey guys, I'm up here in Strathbogie State Forest doing a 1 night, 2 day little trip solo. This is one of my favourite places to go full driving. It's a great spot just on the fringe of Mansfield and the Vic High Country, and I think for that reason a lot of people overlook it. There's a great variety. You get a lot of really rocky, granite, steep, bouldery stuff, and then there's also some great rutted tracks as well. I definitely recommend coming and checking this area out. One thing I would say is if you look at new tracks, you might overlook it and think it looks a bit too easy. There are heaps of good hard tracks here. You just need to know where to go. And if you are coming up here and you haven't been pointed to any of the tracks and you're only doing it for the first time, I'd recommend at least 2 days, because I think it's super easy to get lost and not find the good stuff. And it is built around a pine plantation, so you're sort of weaving around all these tracks to find the good stuff. But hopefully you'll enjoy some of the tracks. I'm not going to be doing anything too crazy given I'm by myself. I don't want to bust anything and then have to work out a way to get out of here by myself. But I will be coming back in a few months with some of the other guys and we'll be hitting some of the harder tracks as well. So hopefully you enjoy this trip and stay tuned to watch along. How good is this for a campsite? Right up on the ridge, sunset. These are these Strathbogie boulders. They're just unreal. So tonight for dinner we got chicken burger wraps. I forgot my fry pan, which is not good, so I'm using my pot. And we've got some cheese, coleslaw, wraps, bit of sumac, and of course habanero Tabasco, which goes perfectly. Just cooking it up now. Get some music going. Fire over there, and an epic sunset just finishing now over the hills. Doesn't get much better. Well, coming up this track here, I tried to take the hard line and went up the bank a little bit, and then in doing so was hard locked driver's side, got my passenger wheel right up in the air, and then trying to reverse it down, still on a hard lock, and did the same thing. So that was sketchy. Anyway, got it out of there and then drove the more sensible line on the way up, but not good. Definitely doable, and just don't want to destroy my car in the process. So this was one of the sketchier moments of my trip. I decided to go down one of the gnarly tracks that we did late last year, where I thought I left my tripod on the track at some point during the day. So I was going for a walk to see if I could find my tripod. I drove down to a point where I thought that it was suitable to not get into anything too hectic and I'd be able to turn the car around. So I drove down and parked up, went for a walk and did find my tripod, which was great. But when I came back and tried to turn around and get my vehicle pointing back uphill, I ended up getting quite crossed up on the track and sort of pinned in between some trees, and also my high side or driver's side was sitting right up on a couple of large boulders. It had me sitting on roughly about 30 degrees, which I measured with my phone, and it was a super sketchy angle, and I really didn't have a lot of options as to what I was doing there. So I had to take a break, think it through with a really clear head, and I ended up putting my winch up on a tree up on the high side, and then getting a couple of big boulders underneath the low side tires, and also tried as much as I could to dig out my driver's side wheels, which were sort of sitting up on the high side. With a little bit of winching, I ended up getting the car pointing back uphill and off that angle, but it definitely was one of the worst feelings that I've had in the car, and not an ideal situation to be in when you're traveling solo. damage report. Not sure if it shows up super well, but touched the rear quarters a couple of times on the bank. No major damage there. Scuffed the rim, whatever, that happens. Probably the worst thing, which is a bit annoying, reversed into a tree, and seems like I've pushed the door back a little bit, so probably gonna have to pull the tire off and just see what that's done. But yeah, that's not great. Door opens and closes fine, which is good, so it wasn't that hard, but you know, it's a couple of kilometers now, so it still isn't ideal. I was pretty impressed with the new Safari side guards. That's I don't know what that's slid on, the bank I think. Anyway, that was good. That's tough plastic, so I mean, unless you hit it hard, it tends to do pretty well. Can't really see too much else. Give it a proper looking over when I'm at home, but maybe touch the side of the bar a little bit, but again, doesn't really matter. So yeah, overall, doesn't seem too bad. I think the underguards, the bash guards, all the K-on stuff has taken a beating, as it always does. But that stuff seems to be pretty bulletproof, so yeah, no problems with that. Alright guys, that's the end of the trip. Just airing up now. Hit a few interesting tracks. There's a lot of exploring and just sort of driving up and down and around trying to find new tracks to hit in the future, but did a few good ones. There was a bunch of new things that I haven't tried before, so it was good to find a few places, and a couple of sketchy moments in there as well, which was not great, but the Prado lives to drive another day. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you next time.